Hello, I'm Alexander Mundy with MCN, Melanin Coaster Network, and we have Destiny Taylor here. She's the manager of global communications for IAAPA, and she spared a few minutes to chat with us today. So we've got a few questions, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Destiny. Hey, Destiny, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Alex.
So let's dive into it.
Just get in.
Share a little bit with us about your journey to becoming the manager of global communications for IAAPA.
Of course. So I actually majored in broadcast journalism at Florida A&M University. So I did a few years in that, and during COVID I kind of transitioned into the virtual event space, hosting virtual conventions and events online. And then I found IAAPA, I discovered IAAPA. And this role started off as a marketing associate role.
Okay.
After about a year, I was promoted to marketing manager, and that role kind of transitioned into communications/marketing manager, now officially global communications manager. So a little bit of a transition along the way, but that's how I got to be in this specific role.
Sounds like a lot. So tell me about a day in the life. What are the things that you do every day?
So I wear many hats. As I mentioned, I am on the global team. We have teams in different regions, EMEA, which is Europe, North America, Latin America, and Asia Pacific. So being on the global team, I kind of oversee, I have a hand in a little bit of all the regions, all the events. So any announcements that we have, any news, any new products, new events, new expos, just anything, I would write our press releases. I would make sure social media is covered, maintaining a strategy, brand awareness, staying in brand guidelines. We work closely with the graphic designer, making sure our website is up to date for our areas. We have a daily newsletter. I manage the daily newsletter. So again, wear many hats, but that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, cool. For those folks that don't know, tell us what IAAPA is and what they do in the world. Could you do that for us?
Yes. So IAAPA is the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions. It's a very long title, but in a nutshell, we service the attractions, the ride manufacturers, water parks, museums, science centers, even aquariums. And so we are a member-based association, so we provide different education products, different networking events, different resources for people in those fields.
Okay. So with your industry perspective, tell us, what trends do you see shaping the future of amusement parks and attractions and aquariums and the like?
For sure. I would say one main trend that I've noticed is AI. Artificial intelligence has been used more and more and more in rides, attractions. You know, when you're waiting in line at the queue, you may have an interactive element before you actually get on the ride, some sort of virtual reality, augmented reality, and even while you're on the ride as well. Just more of those interactive pieces, immersive pieces to keep you a little bit more entertained and engaged while you're on the ride or even before.
So not really just the ride, but the total experience, right?
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
I have to ask you this as a coaster enthusiast myself. Do you have a personal passion for parks, for rides, for coasters?
I do, and I tell people all the time, I'm actually not like a crazy coaster person. Like, I don't do the steep drops and everything. I'm actually afraid of heights. But I do love the parks. I love attractions. I love the atmosphere. I love the seasonal events, Halloween Horror Nights, the Christmas parades, the food and wine festivals, things like that. So that's kind of like my wheelhouse. I will do some rides, but not anything too crazy.
You got to come hang out with MCN sometime. We'll get you on some rides.
Too crazy. I'm scared.
So what's your favorite? Park, ride, whatever, experience in the industry?
I'm actually a Universal girly. I love Universal. I love Islands of Adventure. My favorite ride, I would say Harry Potter, Hagrid's, the motorbike adventure, I think it's called. That one's my favorite because there's some speed to it. It's fun. It's not really like, there's no crazy drop. So I like it. That one would be my favorite ride.
Okay. Switching gears a little bit. You're in the communication space in this industry and probably have a lot of inside information. Talk to me about what you see shaping the future of amusement parks and attractions.
Yeah, I would say, again, just touching on AI, I think actually in the parks is something that's been very big, and technology in general. A lot of businesses, companies, attractions, park operators are just being more advanced when it comes to technology, whether it's the ticketing system or different softwares they use, app developers, things like that, because that again ties into the whole guest experience. So things like that I would say are touching.
So with this being a global role, I can imagine the audience in EMEA is going to be different than in North America. So
Yes.
Talk to me about the biggest challenge you faced when adapting a message maybe geared towards the States versus how you might communicate that in EMEA or another place in the world.
That's a very good question, because we do have 4 different regions, and it's something that we have to deal with or consider when we are developing any piece of material, whether we're writing copy for social media, for a website, newsletter, anything that we're preparing, we have to keep in mind what region it's going to. So one of the first things that I learned, and it kind of just stuck with me early on in my career, is whenever I'm developing something, if I'm writing copy, my first question to myself is, who is this for? Who is this going to?
Okay.
And that right there can kind of help, decrease some of those challenges, because again, each audience is different. Even when you're writing something for social, it may not be the same way that you would write it in a press release or in a magazine or something like that. So a couple examples: we have sponsors of our events, we have members, we have committee members, and we have just people all over the world. So we just need to make sure when we're developing something that we're talking to the right audience, because if we miss that audience, if the tone doesn't matches, then it's gonna go over their heads, basically.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about the use of digital channels. Everybody's about social media. You've got TikTok, you've got Facebook, and all the other ones out there. How do you adapt some of that messaging in those little short bits and bytes and videos? How do you do that?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important to be on all social media channels. I think as a company, as a business owner, whatever your niche is, you have to have a social media presence, a digital presence. So again, just kind of going back to like website, magazine, like you cannot put the same thing on social media that you're gonna put on your website. Keep it short form. People's attention spans are not that long. You have to really like grab their attention within the first 5 to 10 seconds. And if you don't, then you lose them. So just, you can pull from those different avenues, newspapers, magazines, websites, whatever, but you have to make it a little bit more digestible for social media.
Okay. So I've got to look to the future. Destiny, what's next for you? Are there particular projects, goals? What's next for IAAPA? What are you driving?
Yeah, I have some personal goals, professional goals as well. I'm looking to get my certification, my APR certification within the next year. So that's accredited public relations, and that will just, help add on to my experience. As I said earlier, I didn't start off in comms and PR. I started in journalism, so I feel like, going for that credential will just give me a little bit more knowledge, kind of expand my foundation in this particular area. And then hopefully, within IAAPA, once I meet those credentials, I can move up the ladder here as well.
Absolutely. We're going to be following that journey. So MCN, you're familiar with us. We are a roller coaster community, kind of highlighting people of color, but really welcoming everybody to come join us and have some fun at the park. So what advice would you give groups like MCN looking to make an impact, looking to grow our network in this space?
Great question. I would say definitely just keep doing what you're doing. Like from what I've seen on social, from what I've seen on your website, you guys are doing amazing work. You seem very welcoming, you seem very inclusive, very fun, very professional. So keep all of that same energy up, honestly. I think you guys have a good thing going. So my advice would be to just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, absolutely. I hope you and everybody else keeps watching, because we're just getting started.
Yes.
So if you had one message for roller coaster enthusiasts, theme park fans, what would that message be?
Kind of the same token, like have fun. For those that are enthusiasts, that are also content creators, be professional also. Of course, you're there to have fun and enjoy and share, those great experiences with your followers. but sometimes we have to, remember that this is somebody else's place of business, somebody else's place of work. So to them, I would say be professional as well, but also have fun with it. We're in the business of fun, so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Destiny, it has been a pleasure to talk to you and to learn a little bit more about your journey with IAAPA.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.